After tonight, there's just 1 week left in the regular season, then it's the playoffs and a day to Camp Randall. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet, Jordan.
No, we don't, because week 8, it was a big one with big conference title implications, including our game of the week.
That's right. Now, Belleville and Darlington have been on a collision course ever since conference play started. The two are undefeated in the SWAL, with the Redbirds on a 5-game win streak, while the Wildcats enter a perfect 7-0. The two met last year in Belleville, and Darlington won that one. This year's setting is at Martin's Field, and the Redbirds were flying high. Caden Burback drops a rainbow on Maddox Goebel, and he's off to the races. Goebel finally dragged down at the 7-yard line, and a few plays later, they'd go to the ground to cash in. Ross Christ bulls his way in to make it 16-0 Darlington. They scored the game's first 31 points. Belleville finally get on the board late in the second. Aiden Keys finds Andrew Ace. He finds the end zone, but little too late. Darlington gets the win, 34-24, the final.
Verona continues to climb up the ranks, and for good reason. The Wildcats enter week 8 on a 6-game win streak, undefeated in the Big 8, and if they get the win over Janesville Craig tonight, they could earn a share of the conference title. So pretty big implications on the Wildcats senior night. Jump to the second, Verona up 14-0. Craig trying to get something going, but on 4th and goal, Brandon Zier comes up with the sack, and that would spark the Wildcat offense. Caden Kittleson sends a strike to Mike Valachek, who's in for the easy tud. Verona goes up 21-0. They get the ball back just before the half. Kittleson fakes the handoff and finds a wide open Wes Berkeley. He's in for 6 more. Verona wins its 7th straight game, 36-6. And it's been a tough season for Madison LaFollette tonight, hoping to move back into the win column with a crosstown matchup with Memorial. Spartans' opening drive, the ball gets loose, and Monty Baker is there to recover for LaFollette. Lancers try for a touchdown, but they're just going to have to settle for 3. Well, now Memorial gets the ball back, and they say, let's try this again. Working the way down the field, Charlie Erlinson goes to Bryson Cunningham, and, good things just happen when he gets the ball. Why is that? Right here. Cunningham takes it in for the Spartans' go-ahead tutty. Last update we got, the Spartans were leading 21-9 at halftime.
Elsewhere in the Big 8, Middleton moves to 5-1 in conference play with a 52-20 win over Madison West. Cardinals host Madison East next Friday night. Mountain Horeb Barneveld was the surprise team in the Badger Conference last season. After winning just 1 game during the 2020 spring season, the Vikings won the Badger Small. This year, Brett St. Arnold's squad is primed to repeat as conference champs. Standing in their way, a Stoughton team that's finally getting healthy. Opening drive of the game, and the Vikings get tricky. Mason Margie sets his feet and chucks it deep to LaShawn Brown for a 29-yard gainer. And that would lead to this. Stoughton going to put in their jumbo package for the goal line, and they hand it off to their fridge, Griffin Empey. Who doesn't love a big fella touchdown? Well, everybody on MHB's sideline, right? Mount Horeb Barneveld answer right back. Casey Helgeson puts one on Landon Elstad, and that's what we call a tutty dime. Mount Horeb Barneveld clinches their 2nd straight Badger Small title with a 47-14 win. In Division II, Waunakee and Sun Prairie East did what they've done all conference play, win. The Warriors knock off Milton, while the Cardinals took down Watertown with ease.
In Division III, Monroe downs East Troy 54-8, keeping its perfect season alive. And Reedsburg also finding success on the road this week. They beat Toma 41-14. And we still have another week of the regular season left, but one matchup tonight might have felt like a playoff game. Andrew Banstra gets us caught up on a marquee South Central meeting.
Now, it's only week 8, but this one is a big one. Adams Friendship made the trip to the Wisconsin Dells, a pair of undefeated teams in conference play, clashing for at least a share of the South Central Conference title. Both teams round out the season next week, playing sub-500 teams. So if you win this one, you basically clinch a conference title. With a win, the Dells all but locks up the South Central, while Adams Friendship seeks their first share of a title since 2016. We start on the Dells' first drive. It's Braden Bust, the quarterback, flushed out of the pocket, reeling to his right, throws up a prayer across his body, and finds his man, Patrick Metz. Picks up another 10, setting up the Chiefs in good position. This time it's Bus once more, squeaks his way through the middle, putting with the Wisconsin Dells up 7-0 in the early going. Switch it over to Adams Friendship. A long drive sets up this. Lincoln Smith, the quarterback, puts on the hit stick and gets in for 7, tying this game up at 7 apiece. But that was all that Adams Friendship really had going for them offensively in this contest. That keeper is the last we'd hear from Adams Friendship as the Dells rolled to a 20-7 win, handing Adams Friendship their first loss of the year, and for the Dells securing a share of the South Central Conference title. With a win next week against Poinette, the Dells will lock up that conference.
And other scores to pass along tonight. Columbus wraps up a Capital Conference crown with a 54-13 win over Lakeside Lutheran. In the SWC, Prairie du Chien takes down Broadhead Judah. And how about this? Potosi Cassville knocked off undefeated River Ridge on the road to clinch a share of the Six Rivers crown.